a lot of people are wanted to focus on whitening.
So you are a first generation entrepreneur, right? How did you convince your family?
When you're planning to get married, probably they might ask you a lot of dowry. After completing my graduation, I just did 1 month of job work. I really didn't like it under pressure. In terms of financial aspects, when we were growing, we didn't know where to invest and what to invest.
Over the last few months, I've had wonderful conversations with a lot of successful and wonderful women and entrepreneurs. Today, with me, I have a very interesting entrepreneur who started her journey as a student, and I can't wait for you guys to hear her story of entrepreneurship. Welcome, Yamini. Thank you so much for being in the studio with me today. And so, first, tell me a little bit about yourself.
So, first, thank you so much for having me. It's such a great pleasure to be on your show. Hi, I'm Yamini. I'm co founder of Aishwaryam Goodness. Aishwaryam Goodness is a skincare brand that helps to create healthy skin rather than whitening of skin tone. Let's take South India. A lot of people are wanted to focus on whitening because they feel having a deep skin tone is very insecure. And that's what the whole journey of me starting and my friend together starting Aishwaryam Goodness as college student, the journey of entrepreneurship has begun.
So you're building a gender neutral D2C brand. When did you start this journey of building this brand, and how and why? Why, of course, because you wanted women to feel comfortable with their skin tone and not focus on whitening. But entrepreneurship, why?
There was few problems that we were facing as college students. One is, as I told you, since I had an insecurity of having deep skin tone, a lot of people around me, they told me kindly use any products that will whiten your skin tone, because over the years when you're planning to get married, probably they might ask you a lot of dowries. That was a similar answer or any statement that I often get, and that triggered me a lot during my childhood days, because what if I don't? And over the period, I learned, if I don't love myself, nobody can love more than me. So I want to start a brand that not only sells the product but also bring up the story of having a deep skin tone is such a beautiful thing. So it's not a concern or it's not a understatement of having a deep skin tone, and that was a major problem. And when we were starting, a lot of brands are focusing only on women. They are not focusing on men, and we felt everybody do have skin and everybody has to take care of their skin, so we wanted to go with gender neutral. And as a college students, we couldn't able to afford products that were selling a serum for 700, 800. And these are the three major problems that we wanted to you know take it as a problem and give the solution to the consumers.
Starting a skincare product, you have, what is your background, like what is your educational background, and why a skincare product? Like you did you do a dermatology course, or how did you stumble upon this?
Completely a commerce student. I do not, me either my partner do not have any chemist knowledge, or we're not having any chemistry background. We're completely a commerce students. So when we wanted to start, because even my partner was facing concerns that she couldn't able to find a solution for. So when we both were talking, we found let's start a brand and let's try to figure it out. When we were starting, there weren't much of formulators, especially in South India. We were trying our best because we don't want it. A lot of, when we were starting, a lot of people were saying no, why don't you go YouTube channel, learn from the YouTube? I was like, there's nothing in YouTube channel, right? You can't learn formulations from YouTube, and which is very dangerous.
People spend a lifetime in that career, like why would you watch YouTube and
Yes. So when I approach people, a lot of people are suggesting to watch YouTube channels. We both don't want to risk ourselves by learning from it. And there were a lot of courses where we tried, we wasted our money on, and later we figured out there is a product formulator to formulate your products for skin. And that's where we found our formulator. We worked with her. There was tons. It took us 2 years of journey to learn about each and every ingredients, about skin type, skin concerns, what is going to work, what is, doesn't work. So we started learning each and everything. We worked with the formulator. We figured out what will work, what doesn't work, what we have to work as a brand. Let's say, like, we were working for the moisturizer. During that period of time when we were doing brainstorming, they weren't a products that is very lightweight. A lot of oily skin people doesn't use moisturizer because it makes the skin very greasy and oily. We wanted to take up the problem and give them the solution, and that's where we ended up launching our hydrocool moisturizer, which is very lightweight. So you want to take up the problem for each and every product and then give them the solution accordingly through our products.
And did you start your journey while in college or after?
During my college,
How did you manage your study and your, all of this experimentation?
okay. So I was taking care of marketing. My partner was taking care of packaging, handling all these Instagram messaging and all these stuff. I am early morning person. I used to learn my semester, wake up at 2, 3 a.m. in the morning, and I, study through my exams. And during evening and night, I used to work for Aishram Goodness, figured out what is going to work, creating posters and all these stuff. And my partner will take care of all these packaging. She used to wake up in the early morning, study for the exam. So that's we figured out what we want to do for each and every day, figuring out what we're going to do. We'll have a to-do list for profession and for the personal. So that was easy for us to figure it out and balance both the category.
So you are a first generation entrepreneur, right? How did you convince your family and where did you get the cash to do all this from?
Our both families are very traditional South Indian parents. Initially, they say like, why you wanted to get into entrepreneurship? That was the first question that we got, and they wanted to do us degrees, and they thought like, no offense, IT will pay you so much amount than entrepreneurship, but we wanted to do what we love to do. So we tried to make them understand, and over the period, they are the most supportive parents that we could ever ask for, because we do pop-ups. When we were starting, we will come at the midnight of 12, 1 o'clock after finishing up the pop-ups. My parents sit at home, wait for me. They have all these dinners for me. They feed me, and then when I go to bed, they sleep. And I don't know. We both are very blessed to have them. In terms of finance, we saved up all our childhood cash. I saved all my birthdays and festival money, pocket monies, and all these stuff. Saved it from my childhood, and my partner saved her childhood money, and she also got first rank in 12th grade, and she got all the tuition fees back. There was a rule, I guess. So when you get 100 out of 100, the tuition fees that you paid off can be like, you can get them back. So those monies we saved it and then we invested. So that was the financial starting point that from our pocket.
So I guess from childhood you had this in mind, and I mean, obviously kids don't usually think of that, no, saving up on their pocket money and the gifts they receive during festivals.
We both got this habit from our parents. They keep telling us to save money. I didn't know for what reason, but somehow it helped us out.
I saw a very interesting video of you speaking about tea and rice. Can you tell me a little bit about that? How did you stumble upon that? When and how it helped you?
So TN Rise is a government initiative where they support women entrepreneurs like us by giving you what you need really. Let's say you are struggling to get onboarded on Amazon or Flipkart. They help you get through that. In terms of finance, if you need any semi loans, they help you with that. You need some mentoring, they get you put to the right person. So I guess through one of the person I got to know about Ian Rice. I directly went to meet Uma ma'am. I really didn't know. I was very nervous because she's the CEO of TN Rise. I felt she probably not get in touch with me because she might be busy. but she actually sat with me. She spoke really well. She asked me what I really need, what was my focus, and she said, I'll help you out. I don't know how many people will do that in terms of financial aspects or the mentorship. She really did. And also, what I've even learned from her is she gives opportunity to each and everyone. Let's say, like, you the 10 women are my favorite, I'll give opportunity for all these 10. No, she will give opportunities for every women entrepreneurs to shine in the ecosystem. So that's what it's not about TN Rise. It's also about the people over there helping women entrepreneurs to bright to shine.
What are the other, or what are the challenges that you faced while starting to build this brand? You know, as a young student, as a woman in this ecosystem, what are the challenges that you face?
It's one of our financial aspects and mentorship, let's say, because there were a lot of mistakes that we were doing initially, and there weren't people like we could go and ask for, because we wanted to focus our education and also the entrepreneurship. We didn't know where we have to go ahead ask for help. We have zero idea about it. We did a lot of mistakes. We kind of like burned a little bit of cash also. And in terms of financial aspects, when we were growing, we didn't know where to invest and what to invest. Because let's say I invested the money in my product formulation, will I get the money back? Only when the product is successful, you'll get the money back. If not, the product is a failure, then the amount that you wasted over the period is going to be a cash burn in your company. So these are a little mistakes that made us a lot of realization by doing it.
But that's true for everybody, right? When you're investing in a product formulation, how would you know? I mean,
Yes. See, we are completely a small scale brand, right? And let's say for product formulation, it's gonna take 40 to 50,000, and then doing it, getting into a trial error, you have to source all the raw materials. You have to do all these trials, and then get it to the people who want to trial the products. And the costing of all the whole process itself a huge money for us at that period of time. And there were around 10 products that we couldn't able to launch, and we felt like, okay, it's kind of like cash burn for us, because if we could have that money for marketing, we felt like much more we could have been in better more position.
now in after 2 years in this industry, what do you feel like? If you had the chance, would you again build a D2C brand, or would you like to go into a services brand, or what industry excites you?
I
Or you think like being in a job is, still safe, what your parents told you?
No, definitely not. Because let me be very frank, I tried a job during my after completing my graduation. I just did 1 month of job work. I really didn't like it under a pressure, and doing the same routine again and again. It wasn't challenging. It wasn't my learning experience at all for the whole month. And I resigned, and I came back to what I really love, because every single day you will get through a lot of things, you will learn a lot of things. I don't want to get into any 9 to 5 job doing same thing, but I wanted to do a service base. I haven't figured it out, but our utmost aim is to be one of the leading D2C brands, especially in South India.
So, after 2, 3 years of entrepreneurship, you just told me that your partner now has a small baby. How do you guys manage now? Like, who are the people who play a major role in your life as an entrepreneur?
A lot of people ask us, like, there's two women entrepreneurs doing business together. Why, like, you don't have fight together? What if things doesn't work? There's a lot of questions that we undergo. But one simple thing that we'll say, like, we wanted to build something very different. It's something which is not personal at all. It's completely professional, and we love to do what we are doing. And we are super supportive to each other. She understands what I do, and I understand what she's doing. And that mutual wavelength really works a lot. And coming to the support towards our family, it's family and friends, I could say, because they're more supportive. When I say like I wanted to, really need some certain helps in terms of entrepreneurship. I want to get through this person. My family and my friends are the ones who really help to get through that. And to my see, entrepreneurship, it's not about all these good days. We also have a lot of bad days. Getting through the bad days is the most hardest thing that you ask for an entrepreneur. And during that tough time, friends and families are the ones who get you through the days. And mentally, physically, they are being the most supportive system.
If there was one thing that you would like to tell students to do, considering in South India, we still are having a very conservative outlook towards education, what would it be? Especially girls.
I'll say do what you do. You don't have to overthink yourself. But a lot of people, as a student entrepreneur, when we started, there were few questions that had been asked by the people around us. What if you fail? What if you burn a lot of cash or lose a lot of money? And the one question that we asked both of us is, what if we don't start now? So I wanted to ask, what if you don't start now? And there's a tons of opportunity. You can be a failure, you can make a lot of mistakes, you can burn a cash, but the journey that you've been through, you will have a handful of lessons, learnings that you can move forward. So that was the major takeaway that I have taken over the years. So if you are a student entrepreneur and you have an idea and still figuring out like, this is gonna work or not, let me be very frank, just start. And you will figure it out through of what you're doing. So just start.
Thanks, Yamini. It was so interesting. And I really hope that at least a few people watching today are inspired by this conversation. I meet a lot of youngsters who have so many ideas, but who cannot take a step forward simply because there's nobody to tell them, hey, it's okay, just go ahead. So I hope this conversation inspires a lot of youngsters to start something on their own and, contribute to the growth of our country.
I really hope and wish all the best to all the aspiring women entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs that's coming forward, because I think over the years it's going to be our golden era, and there's a tons of people coming up, and I hope a lot of the entrepreneurs as of now, the founders, will support the aspiring entrepreneurs, so that as an ecosystem we bring a lot of beautiful ideas and business together.
Thank you.